Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I tend to binge watch Bold and Beautiful each week, which is enough easy to do when the occurrences are only about 20 twinkles long. While watching this week's occurrences, I set up myself doing commodity that has ain't happened in a while, looking forward to each new investiture. And when Friday's occasion ended well, let's just say I'm frame hopeless to see what happens coming. Let's dive in. Want to prove beyond a reasonable mistrustfulness that someone is innocent of murder? If they be to be a cleaner character, charge them with the crime. They would indeed need an attorney, because before the case could conceivably go to trial, the real killer will be exposed. Which means we should soon find out that Tom and Hollis were done in by, well, anyone except Poppy. After she was hauled down by the police, I came incredibly irked with Bill. Not only did he not rush down to the station to be with Poppy as she faced this extremity, he also turned around and incontinently said to supposed son Luna, "Hey, I know you're kinda freaked right now, but let's just rip the girth off and do another maternity test, right? This alternate what ya say, who is Luna's father?" It shouldn't surprise anyone that the rearmost maternity test proved Luna's not Bill's son. As I've said in the history, detergents should always follow the path down which the most drama can be set up. Bill being Luna's pater is a total snooze. Now we not only get to play who's the real pater, but also, with any luck, get to see old Academy Bone Bill come roaring back. 4 months now, we've been stuck with a kinder, gentler Bill who is, if I'm being honest, kinda boring. Love Don Diamant, but Bill is at his stylish when he's blasting verbal comebacks at everyone in his vicinity, remonstrating and generally being a pessimistic smart aleck. Then's hoping this twist finds him determined to discover who pulled this con and why. Which should also put him back in Lee's route, a pairing I've loved since first they crossed paths. Of course, absolutely everything about this story changed in the final moments of Friday's occasion. Because about 83 seconds after chancing out that Bill was her pater, Luna planted a kiss on him. No, not a well, you're still like a pater to me kiss on the impertinence. This had to be the most shocking cleaner bust since that time Bridget planted a lip lock on Ridge. This show has a long history of playing frame incestuous connections. They're the day interpretation of a V.C. Andrews novel, IYKYK. But indeed for Bold and Beautiful, this bone was a shocker. However, I'm a brand them a fabricator, if anyone in the viewing followership, or reading this column, dares to say they saw it coming. But as reasons to tune in hereafter, or, in this case, Monday, go, this was a doozy. Because where, exactly, does the show go from then? I'm not all that into the r.j/Luna love, but it should be delightful to watch his response, especially given how probative he was in the wake of Zende, which, to be clear, is exactly the response RJ should have had, given that what happened was in no way, shape or form Luna's fault. I mean, actually, I'm dying to see how everyone on the oil, from Liam to Ridge, reacts to this kiss. Given that this is a show on which everything is talked about by everyone, I'm enough sure it's not commodity that's going to stay a secret for long. And what about that weird little smile Luna gave at the end? Anybody differently, suddenly wondering if perhaps Luna is the one who killed Hollis and Tom? Could she be framing her mama, and if so, why? Stay in your lane. Katie worked my jitters this week, big time. Look, we all know that she'll always and ever love Bill, especially when they aren't actually together, but her determination to see Poppy penalized was a bit important. What made her jest? Indeed, more exasperating was the fact that she principally called the police to say, "Hey, why I'll need to arrest my ex-husband's gal," and also, when they did it, acted as if she had no indication why the Bobbies would be so suspicious. "I didn't tell the police to arrest Poppy," she said with a straight face, indeed going so far as to principally dismiss the notion of Sheila having committed the crimes. But lest I forget, Sheila is now the heroine of the show, so carry on. Danny and Cricket's visit was equal corridor cringe and delightful, and perhaps not in the way I might have anticipated. I love that they struck a deal between Danny and Forrester Creations to use his music in their announcement juggernauts. Suppose about it. How numerous songs from your youth have turned up in advertisements for everything from buses to erectile dysfunction specifics. What made zero sense to me was that when Danny gave his improvisational performance, he did nearly the entire thing with his reverse to the Foresters, performing for us as opposed to them. It was an odd decision to say the least. Meanwhile, the cringe came when the party turned into an over-the-top Brooke Logan love fest. I mean, I love Hope, but when she started leading the room in chanting her mama's name, I did a full body eye roll. I did, still, really enjoy when Pam approached Steffi to vent about the event. The Logans with their twitch and their palpitation, she snarked. Will it ever end? Models parading around in their undergarments. Really? In my cherished family's home, I bought every single word of Pam's speech. I also really liked having Steffi step up to speak and also kinda sorta praise Brooke. Sure, her smile was pained, but of course it was. As she latterly explained to Finn, Brooke's bedroom is making plutocrat and, as CEO, that's what matters most to her. I actually don't know what we're anticipated to suppose of this week's other kiss. You know, the one where Hope decided it was a good idea to lock lips with Finn in the Forrester family living room. I wish I understood Finn's determination to tell Steffi about what happened, but I can't say I do. Finn said he doesn't keep effects from his woman. But I supplicate to differ. There have been multitudinous times in the history where, in the stylish interest of his marriage and his woman, he's decided to suck his lingo. So his determination to tell Steffi doesn't make sense unless, of course, you factor in the Logan/Forrester war. Important as I'd love to no way readdress that, it's clear that with Taylor back on the oil, we're about to telephone it up again. The only way this is going to make this particular bystander happy is if Finn confesses the kiss, Steffi fires Hope and Brooke's son decides to start her own company to contend with Forrester. Regular compendiums will know I've been dying for Bold and Beautiful to readdress its roots by creating an alternate fashion house to contend with Forrester. Imagine the drama if Hope were to jump boat and see who she could take with her. Wouldn't it have been nice if someone at the party had conceded Eric? There was months of talk about how he was being pushed away, yet the only cry out the Forrester primogenitor who created the company got was a nod to him and Donna for having thrown yet another bash. Donna fangirling over Danny made sense, especially when you suppose about where the Logan girls came from. She was into the manor house born, so the idea that the little girl inside her was starstruck made sense. Her and Pam talking about going on a road trip to see one of Danny's musicals also worked, given that the frenemies have had little adventures before. Flashback when they went on Price is Right? Why were there models parading around in the lingerie? It was a family-only party, and everyone there clearly knows what the line looks like. Speaking of the line, when, exactly, did Ridge design it? 3 weeks ago. He suggested they relaunch Brooke's bedroom and suddenly, then it is.